Order. Question number 11, Stuart Nash.
Thank you. To the Minister of Land Information, wherever she is, how many hectares of New Zealand agricultural and forestry land are owned or controlled by foreign interests?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Land Information, it's not possible to give an answer to that for a number of reasons, and let me take the House through them. Firstly, overseas owners often sell land back to New Zealanders. Consent is not needed to do this, and no record is kept. Number two, overseas owners can change their status. For example, they can become New Zealand citizens or permanent residents. Number three, overseas owners sell land to each other. Number four, the Overseas Investment Office records grants of consent. It does not necessarily mean the transaction proceeds.
Order. Minister resume his seat. Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston.
The question, it required a simple answer, not a long, obtuse explanation of what's not happening.
The member will immediately resume his seat. I will be the adjudicator. Order. I will be the adjudicator of how long a question is answered for, and that will be greatly determined by the measure of interjections that are coming from areas in this House. And if there are interjections, then a minister certainly will be given more latitude in responding to those. The Honourable Stephen Joyce. Order. Order. Just would the member please resume his seat? I have ruled on that matter, but I just want to give a warning to the member that might be of some relevance to him. If he continues to relitigate that point of order, that is seriously disorderly, and I will deal with it appropriately. If the member wishes to raise a separate point of order, I'm happy to hear it.
Yes, Mr Speaker, I'm not contesting...
Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
I'm not contesting what you've just said. What I want to know is, could I have some prior Speaker's rulings or standing orders that reference the right of a minister to go on and on the basis of interjections?
Is in serious risk of being thrown out of the House for a second occasion for exactly the same reason. I have ruled that I will adjudicate the length of the answer, and that will be determined by the level of interjection I'm perceiving to be coming from any area of the House. Would a minister like to complete his answer?
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And the fifth reason is that the Overseas Investment Office only has records dating back to 1998, as prior to that time consents were granted by the Land Valuation Tribunal, which kept no data. So for those 5 reasons and more, it's not possible to provide an answer to the member.
Supplementary question, Stuart Nash.
Does she think it is acceptable that she can approve sales of New Zealand's agricultural and forestry land without even knowing the total number of hectares of New Zealand productive land going into foreign ownership or control?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, the point is that we actually test every single transaction, and in fact this government tightened up the OIO consent process by increasing New Zealand participation, protecting New Zealand's economic interests and limiting vertical integration. If the member would like to go over the history of some of these transactions and which government sold what to whom, I'm more than happy to indulge him.
No, that won't be necessary. Supplementary question, Stuart Nash.
In light of that answer that they test every sale, how many jobs have the 716 overseas investors who promised to create jobs actually created? And if she doesn't know, why not?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce on behalf of the Minister.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, I don't have the total, but I can give him I can give him an example, which I think is an important example, because one of the transactions relates to a purchase of Carter Holt Harvey's forestry assets. This is an important example of 1.0...
Order. If I hear interjections of that level coming from 2 particular New Zealand First members, they'll be leaving the House immediately. The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
So one example, thank you, Mr Speaker, is the Carter Holt Harvey forestry assets, which included 3,380 hectares of freehold land that were purchased by OG Limited, who the member may be aware of, the operators of the Panpack mill in Whirinaki, and they employ very many New Zealanders and are developing those assets. So if he wants to continue down that line of attack...
Order. Now I have a point of order from Stuart Nash, and I certainly hope it's not attempting to relitigate the length
not at all, Mr Speaker.
Then Stuart Nash, point of order.
Mr Speaker, it was a very clear question. I had the answer within 2 seconds. Can I please ask...
Order. That is exactly relitigating what I've already handled. So the member's very much in danger of having the same treatment of the others. Does he have further supplementary questions? Supplementary question, Stuart Nash.
Doesn't New Zealand need a publicly accessible register listing foreign ownership and control of our agricultural and forestry land?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, no, I don't believe so. What New Zealand needs is the ability to vet each transaction, which this government does, just like other governments have before it, to ensure there is economic benefit for New Zealand. And the member knows from his own electorate that there are some very good examples of foreign investment in New Zealand, and the Panpac mill at Whirinaki is exactly one of those examples that owns also foreign land for forestry purposes.
Order.
And
Order.
those
No,
things...
no, I think on this occasion the answer is certainly long enough.
Supplementary question.
Oh, supplementary question, Stuart Nash.
Will she approve the sale to foreign interests of any of Landcorp's 160,000 hectares of farms and forests, and if so, why?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce on behalf of the Minister.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister, she can't make hypothetical decisions on individual pieces of land, but she'd probably be more careful than the Labor government back in 2004 that sold 170,000 hectares of the Kaingaroa forest to a Harvard pension fund, Mr Speaker, and that particular transaction was authorised by one David Parker.
Order. Question. Order. Order. Point of order, the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table a WorkSafe New Zealand report that shows quite clearly that since the Pike River mine, there have been 233 fatalities.
Leave is thought to table that particular document. Is there any objection? There is none. It can be tabled. Order. Is this a supplementary question?
No, Mr Speaker, it's a point of order.
Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
I seek leave to table an answer to an Official Information Act request setting out that the government is using the fund that was for only New Zealand asset purchases to buy assets offshore. It's all here.
Order. I'm not sure what I'm seeking leave to table, to be honest.
Well, I'll explain it again.
Please explain it
very
briefly.
slowly. It's an Official Information Act answer demonstrating that the government
then I
is
have
using
it.
funds.
Order. The member now can. This is a particular response and as a result of an OIA request. Leave us sort. Can I just have the date of the document?
11 August.
11 August, I presume, this year. Leave us.
Take a wild guess. Yes, this year, Mr Speaker.
Thank you very much. Leave us sought to table that particular document, 11 August 2015. Is there any objection to that document being tabled in this House today? There is none. It can be tabled.
Mr.
Question
Speaker.
number 12, Catherine Delahunty.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker.